Hey guys, it's Jan here and welcome to the new episode of my tennis podcast. In today's session, what I would love to talk about is a very important thing that probably is valuable for about 90% of adult club tennis players, basically the normal club tennis players in the tennis clubs, wherever I usually go. And basically what I want to talk about is my experience on the court as a tennis coach over past 15 years, working with adult club tennis players, and basically since I started to work with the adult players and also juniors and kids. Of course, with the juniors and kids, we always focus on this from the beginning. These kind of three most important areas of the game that you want to really focus on. And what I did since I started to coach, I was not even mindfully, I was already applying the same things that I learned myself as a performance player. I was always applying, because we always as a coach, you try to teach what you know. So I always knew how I need to play, what I need to do in order to compete at the best, and to play kind of very effortless tennis, because this is the main point, right? You want to be able to play more effortless tennis, because if you don't play tennis effortlessly, you're going to get burned out in the match. You're going to run out of energy and you're going to lose, basically, because you're not going to be able to sustain. I've seen so many players trying to hit the ball hard, and then in 3, 4, 5 shots they get so tired that they can't keep going. So then once they have the long balls rallies in the point or in the match, obviously, they just can't handle it for longer period of time, and then they get out of the breath. And then, of course, once you get physically out of the breath, and then the technique falls apart and so on. It's all very much connected. But what I want to talk about today in this podcast session is something that really triggers me as a pro performance tennis coach, working with so many. I've worked with the ATP players, I've worked with the ITF players, ITF juniors. I had some top juniors in UK, I had the top juniors in Germany, top juniors in Prague. I had a guy in Prague, he was 7 years old, now he's around 15 or 16, and he's one of the best in the country. And we've been always working on the very same things, and this is not something I invented. I learned it from another great coach, which I want to give credit to, Mr. Gerla from TK Sparta Gihlava. He's one of the best coaches probably I've ever met. He was my personal coach when I was a junior. I was so I'm so thankful to be able to work with him back in those days. He's a top coach, and he was already back then showing me these kind of things that are so important. And that's exactly what I brought after into the tennis, of course, working with my players, because what I learned, then I pass it on, right? And that's why sometimes when I watch these other online gurus, online tennis coaches now, who never been on the court, or I'm not saying never, maybe they've been doing some lessons, but me coming online, I've done those 15 years on court, or maybe more actually. Since I started to coach already when I was 17, 18, already helping kids and stuff, and then I kept going when I was 19, 20, back in London, when I moved to London. And so I watched about 3 days ago. I watched this video on YouTube. I'm not gonna name this channel. I'm not here to criticize. It's just that there is so much misinformation out there, guys. You have to be very careful what you're watching and who you're watching, and always check their expertise. Like if they really play tennis at that level, first of all, themselves. There is a say, you don't have to be amazing a player to be a good coach, but I'm telling you, it does help. It does help if you know what you're talking about. Because these guys, there are some guys out there, they have so many followers, but they never had the level. They don't even have the level now, and it's all fine, they're trying to improve and all this, but they are telling you things that they're not gonna work. There is this guy, he's trying to show you, like, you have to do this technically, you have to do that technically, you have to have this swing path, and you have to use this body in this way and all this, but they never focus on the three most important elements of the game. I've seen the video where the guy shows before and after, and he's showing before and after. Before, obviously, the guy had very bad technique, was not using the body and nothing, and then he shows you the after video how he finally fixed his technique and all this. And I'm watching the after video and I'm asking myself, but he's not focusing on the most important areas. The guy is too close to the ball. He has no space. He's hitting the ball with his arm fully bent. And this guy is trying to tell you through his videos that, you see, now after working a couple of sessions with me, he has a great swing and all this. Well, well, the swing was maybe a little bit better, but he's not gonna be able to play tennis at any better level because you're not focusing on the most important elements, which is the position, how to use the legs and how to use the body. But without that initial position, without that initial right position, getting in the right position, these players will never improve. And there are so many coaches, especially online, they just don't know this. They show you like they show you a guy hitting the ball late, and then he's trying to fix a swing, which swing doesn't have to be fixed. What has to be fixed is the way the guy's getting in the position. He's too close to the ball, he's not keeping the distance, and the guy's trying to fix his swing. You don't have to fix the swing, you have to fix that initial position, you have to fix the footwork pattern, you have to fix the movement. The guy has to learn how to keep the distance between the ball and his body to be able to swing it. Then it's gonna be natural to swing it, he's gonna have a space there. But no, the problem of these online gurus, online coaches who never had a level, they don't know how to play tennis basically. Yeah, they are very beginners and they trying to teach you something that doesn't work, and you're not going to improve by following their advices. It's just not gonna work. You have to focus on what is most important. You have to keep the distance, you have to be able to read the ball, and you have to be able to position yourself well so you have enough space and enough time to hit it through nicely by using the legs and the body correctly. Like these are fundamentals for me, but I'm just shocked when I'm seeing all these online coaches out there always trying to focus only on how to use the arm, how to do the swing path, how to follow through, and so on, and they're not focusing on the most important elements. Yeah, which I'm basically calling our PLB Tennis Method, because this is what I've been focusing on for years, and this is what's working, and this is what 90% of adult club tennis players, if it's a man or women, doesn't matter, they all have to fix this. Once you fix this, the technique's gonna come. Yeah, once you know how to position yourself, once you know how to use your legs correctly, once you know how to use your the whole body also for the more effortless power and the timing and all this, you're gonna be a completely different player. The swing is gonna come. The swing is not so difficult once you fix, most importantly, the right position. This is so crucial. And nobody seems to talk about this. You know, they all telling you have to do this, you have to do the hold the racket like this, the wrist and all this. All this will come naturally. This is not difficult. You watch the pros. When I was a junior, I will tell you a story. When I was a junior, I was never hearing things like how I have to swing the racket, how I have to follow through and all this. This is natural. Like the racket will show you the way. Yeah. I mean, if you're training, like I used to train 3-4 hours a day as a junior since I was since I was 10 until 19. Well, when I was at 10, maybe not 3 hours a day, but later on in the junior career, of course, 3-4 hours a day, we were on the court plus fitness. All I was focusing on was to get in the right position to be able to hit the clean stroke. Like this is the number one, to be able to hit it at the place where I feel super comfortable and when I can apply the right techniques, the right biomechanics, so I can hit that effortless stroke and I can penetrate the ball properly and I can hit it nice and deep and place it wherever I want. Yeah, because the point in tennis is to be able to hit the ball from anywhere around the court to anywhere you want to. Like this is the number one. Yeah, like the positioning is probably the most important thing in tennis. Yeah, how to move, how to get a right position, the footwork patterns, how to be efficient in this way, how to time it, how to position yourself well at the perfect place or as perfect as possible. Because you're gonna have so many situations when you play in the match, when you play the point. You're not gonna basically hit a one ball, same ball ever again. Every ball is kind of different, right? Every ball is at a different place. Every ball is spun a different way. Every ball has a different speed, a different heaviness. You know, you're dealing with different timings. You're dealing with different opponents. Everybody hits the ball slightly differently, you know. And you have to be able to know how to position yourself well to be able to deal with that ball. And then everything else will follow, you know. Then you can apply the right technique. But this is the thing, like these guys, they're trying to show you like the right technique and all this. But this is not gonna work if you just don't know how to position yourself well, how to use your legs and how to use your whole body. This is why sometimes I get like so angry because these guys, they commenting, oh thanks, I'm gonna try all this and that, and they just don't know that it's not gonna work. This is not gonna work if you're not gonna fix these 3 most important steps basically in your game. So I had to record this podcast. I had to take it out of me because I've been working with the players. It always works every time we apply my method, every time we go through, every time my players start to being aware about these things. Once you start being aware that you have to follow those 3 steps, that you're seeing the ball coming at you, focusing on the positioning, then you're focusing on the legs, then you're focusing on the body, and once you're gonna have it under your skin, as I like to say, once it becomes your kind of automatic pattern, then only then you can really improve, and only then you can really start playing better tennis and kind of really model it on the pros. Because I'm telling you, when I was back on the court with Mr. Gerla or the other guys I was also training with, we were always focusing on that. He was never giving me a same ball to the same place. It was always one ball there, and he was always saying, get the right position, look for the right position, hit it clean. And we kept going until I was able to hit clean balls with a perfect technique, or almost as perfect as possible, from any position on the court. Of course, there is gonna be always some positionings, like you're on defensive position or short ball, so you're sliding to the ball, you're getting low positions and stuff. But the idea is to be able to find that perfect position to hit that good, your strength, to hit that good ball, basically the good shot. Yeah, like look for Dominic Thiem, how well he moves around the court, or Djokovic. They always try to get in that perfect position so they can hit it clean and they can attack. Of course, they cannot attack all the time, but they try to get in that position to be able to be in the driving seat. And this is the main point. So don't focus on the nonsense. Focus on really start with the step 1 on how to get the right position, and then once you fix that how to get the right position, then you're focusing on how to use the legs properly and how to start using the body properly, which is gonna follow after. Then the racket and the arm swing and all this, the swing, or the path of the racket, basically the initial swing. This is all gonna come so naturally. You will see. But without fixing these 3 most important steps, 3 most important elements in your game, it's just not gonna work. So I hope I explained myself a little bit more clearly right now here. I wanted to do a video about this, but again, I didn't have much time, so I think this is the fastest way how to share this video. If you would love to really start focusing on it and really start seeing results and improve, make sure to hit that link below. I'm gonna give you a link to my PLB Tennis Method masterclass, where you're gonna learn basically how you're gonna start focusing on these 3 things. It's very important. I'm telling you, it's crucial. Like, this is so important for you. Like, without these 3 steps, you're not going to improve, or you're going to improve, but not massively. And I've seen so much great improvement when my players start focusing on how to use how to get the right position, how to use the legs, and how to use the whole body. Because that's basically what I created this method on so many years being on the court working with my players. And bottom line is that when we started to focus on these three areas of the game, my players just improved. And this is it's what it is. The tennis is not a rocket science, but you really have to keep it simple. You have to keep those fundamentals and really try not to listen to those who never had the level. Yeah, it's just crazy what they do out there. There's just so much BS and so much marketing things, and it's just nothing to do with tennis. Focus on most important things. Focus on what's gonna get you to the better level. Okay, so no more hitting balls late, no more hitting balls at the wrong place. You start focusing on how to get the right position, how to use the legs, and how to use your body properly and in a effortless way. So I'm gonna look forward to see you inside the masterclass. Of course, also if you enjoy this podcast, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna look forward to see you in my other videos that I'm uploading on a weekly basis here. And thanks for listening, and have a great day.